My name is Moll, and I teach the MAPS Language of Sales program. If you're anything like me, you've already realized your ability to communicate at a high level is not a luxury if you have an intention of being a high performer. What's interesting is when I began working on developing my own language skills and I thought about communication, I reflected back on something one of my mentors taught me years ago. And that was words are free. How I use them may cost me. You see, the limits of your language are actually the limits or the lid of your real estate career. In the MAPS Language of Sales program, we focus on the science and the art of communication to teach you how to empower your listener in order to reach their goals and objectives. Contemplate this. There are over 8 billion points of view on our planet, and people don't respond to your reality. They respond to their reality. And the agent or leader that has the ability to meet people where they are, well, they're the ones that are going to control the market. So let me ask you a question. Has there ever been a time when you thought you were saying, what you were saying made so much sense, and yet the listener failed to understand or act on your suggestions? Here's why. Research shows that we hear about 450 words a minute, but our brain only processes 17 to 25% of what we hear. And people process information based on their habitual programs or the filters that they're operating from. This includes you. So clearly, you're starting to realize that if you're speaking, the listener, and that means your significant other, your kids, your team, your buyer, your seller, your potential recruit, whoever it is you're talking to, only hears between 75 and 110 of the 450 words you're actually speaking every minute. So it only makes sense that you must become more effective in your use of language to make an impact on your listener and empower them to take action. This is what I truly love about language. Through your mastery of language, you can create a great feeling of connection with others. When people feel good in your presence, well, naturally, they're going to tell others, and your business grows when you're able to create an environment that allows others to prosper. That, my friends, is done through language and communication, and frankly, why MAPS Language of Sales is so important. What could it mean if you mastered only one language pattern? Take a moment and get clear on the calls you didn't make this year because you weren't sure of what to say. Let me ask you this. Are you nailing your lead gen time? Maybe you have a listing you failed to get this year. Maybe you have a house that could sell, yet it needs to be repositioned in the market, and you're avoiding that price reduction conversation. Or you've been working with a buyer for a while and you haven't figured out how to get them the property they desire in this market. If any of these situations sound familiar to you, then instinctively you are already beginning to understand that you need to take advantage of the opportunity to increase your communication and your sales through the mastery of language by enrolling in the language of sales. I'm Moll, and I'll see you soon.